Hey guys, welcome back to Speak and Trip. So in this video we're going to talk about a topic that has come up a lot in recent times. And this is basically, how do I, in university in first year, actually make friends and network with people without the main stuff of going to parties and getting super drunk and being out every night at the bars. Obviously that is a huge part of university life. But when you're in lectures, when you're outside and just about doing your daily work, going to the gym, going to societies, how do you actually have a conversation where you don't feel like you're intruding on somebody's path and basically make connections? Because that's a very big part of university experience, going out there to potentially making friends with the people that you're going to be working then in the next 20-30 years of your life. So first of all, a very quick mindset that you need to be aware of. There's a very big pressure on students to come in Freshers Week, which is basically the first week of all of the activities that are happening at university, and to automatically find their best friends right there and then. That is a pressure that a lot of students have, that they think about, and they feel that they have to meet someone, but that's really not the case, because university is 3 years long, 4 years for some people that are doing a year abroad, and that will give you a lot of opportunity to go out there and actually make friends throughout. So even if you're feeling out that you're missing out and if you're not connecting with anybody in the first week, don't worry about it. You'll still have plenty more opportunity. Now, in terms of the actual practical things that you can say, a lot of people, when they start talking, they say something like, "Hi, how are you? What are you up to? What are you doing? Where are you from? How come you came to this uni?" And these are all fine. This is all a starter. Of course, none of us are really afraid of saying hi to people. What we're actually afraid of is what comes next after you say hello. We don't like the feeling of the conversation going dry and us asking closed questions and somebody just reacting with one-word answers. That feels kind of awkward. That feels like you're intruding on somebody's space. So one quick tip, one quick hack, if you will, that you can use to quickly amp up and make your conversations more interesting is, instead of asking closed-ended questions, you can just say a statement about somebody. So for example, if somebody came up to me and saw me, they don't have to be "Hi, where are you from?" They could be "Oh, hi, you look like," and this "you look like" is the key. You say that phrase, and then you continue with any sort of assumption or statement that you want to make about that person. You look like you're wearing a relaxed denim jacket, you have your chain. It's almost like you're taking life very easy right now. You're not working, you're not studying, and you look kind of arty and maybe hipster, Maybe a quick few assumptions you could say about me. Other people that you see around there, if somebody is looks a bit tanned or has darker hair, you can be "Oh, you look a bit Hispanic, a bit Italian, you're not from London, you're not from the UK." And it's already something that throws an assumption about them. Now, the beauty of this is that it really doesn't have to be correct or incorrect, because the amazing part is that once you say that assumption, the other person who you're speaking with will respond, and they will actually say the actual facts about them, and they will correct you themselves, which in turn allows you to progress the conversation forward. Now, off the back of that, so the first tip is using assumptions. After you get the assumptions, and you can do this with people's courses, what they study, their degree, their nationality, where they came from. You can even make an assumption about why they decided to study in a particular uni. You look very serious. You are already wearing a blazer in your lectures. Of course, you have to be in this serious establishment. Something like that. And again, the charm is that it doesn't have to be spot on. It's not a science. It's just some fluff that you put out there, but it will have a lot of things that the other person could relate back to or correct you if it's wrong, and actually, progress the conversation forward. The next easy part is if somebody says hi to you, don't just say hi back or say hi, how are you? Because that is something that we always do as human beings, but it always very quickly ends at a kind of "I'm fine, you, yeah, I'm good as well." What you need to get into the habit of doing is, whenever somebody asks you how you're doing, actually tell them like what you have just been doing or what you're planning to do. So say for example, I'm going to the shop, somebody's like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, yeah, I'm good, I'm just going to the shop to pick up some groceries because I'm going to be cooking tonight. That's already like a story and something that I've said about myself. And then I say, what about you? And that encourages the other person to then say something back. And that's already sort of like starting it off to a better level and not just being very close in terms of your answers and your questions. That's the second tip. So get into the habit of always explaining what you're up to and where you're going, just so that injects the conversation further. The third tip is when you're doing your lectures, doing your tutorials at university, even if you know how to do something like a task that you have given by your tutor, whatever, even if you know how to like write that specific essay or do that specific part of the research, get into the habit of always asking people for their advice and asking them like how would they approach this. You think it's a bit of a trick, a mind trick, because you think in your mind that like you are a burden, you are asking them for help. But in reality, we all like to kind of like feel that we're doing somebody a favor, and we all like to feel important that we're giving somebody else advice. So the fact that you're like asking people like, hey, how would you do this? Or like, hey, how would you do that? And somebody else is responding and be like, oh, you know what, I would go and I would use this website and research this, and like I would structure my essay like this. You know, it makes them feel, it gives them that feeling of grandiosity. And in return, you can then also like kind of like volunteer to like help them back with something. And a lot of people, the way they've met like their colleagues and their friends and their acquaintances is just going out there, like reaching out to other people, seeing how they would do it, getting that perspective, and then off the back of that, that's a perfect sort of like platform of taking the conversation forward and actually getting to know them on a more personal level. Now, the final tip that we're going to talk about this time, and this is more tailored towards how you network at professional networking events. At university, especially in England here, you're probably going to have quite a lot of these different events where your lecturers, your university will invite people from different companies like, I don't know, PwC, different banks, whatever, different law firms, architectural firms to come and meet students. And a lot of students automatically get super awkward when they're doing that kind of stuff. They overthink the conversation. They think that like they need to like be on their like best game and say something interesting. But what I've actually found for myself is what you do is you approach a recruiter or you approach somebody who's representing that company, and you simply ask them like, what are the challenges that that company is going through at the moment? So you can be like, hey, like what are the kind of, you know, issues that you're having with recruitment right now? Are there like you know, like, are you finding that like there's too many applicants or not enough applicants, or like they're doing something in their application that is making it difficult for you to progress them forward? What are the challenges that the company is having now that there's, for example, Brexit, you know? These are very kind of generic and big statements, and but people, what I found from my experience, they love to talk about different challenges that they're having and sort of like shedding light. And again, maybe it's because it's giving them that level of grandiosity and making them feel important. But yeah, asking people what they're trying to overcome right now is, I found in my days, a brilliant conversation starter, but that's more towards professional level networking. Anyway guys, I hope these tips have helped you, and go out there and have an awesome time at uni. Obviously, don't miss out on any of the other fun stuff like going to parties and networking events, and also join a lot of societies, and hopefully take some notes and go out there and make as many connections as you can, because it's very likely that in your professional careers later, the people that you meet now will still be in your life many years down the line. I hope this helps. Comment down below for any more suggestions or topics or questions you might have, and I'll see you guys in the next video.